right, welcome back.
Mike Malone, I give him the advantage over Darvin Ham.
If you're watching this, there's no Darvin Ham slander on the show.
No, I'm not saying that. I don't give a fuck. I can tell you right now, I don't give a fuck.
All right, welcome back to Believe Me Later. I am Booner. I'm here with the one and only
Lucas Klotz. We are back.
Co-host Lucas Klotz.
We're back in Studio B.
Yes, sir.
You know, we make do regardless. We'll be back in Studio A here pretty soon.
Tuesday we were supposed to be in there. NBA draft lottery sucked.
We keep getting hoed. And it's not even like anything we can be mad about either. So we're just taking the punches.
The NBA is broken. It's a broken system.
No JB, no Chris today.
Yeah,
we got Booner, we got Lucas, we got Believe Me Later.
And
we're going to dish out some fucking heat.
We did a little Euro. Hey. All right, we're going to go over 3 things today. Quick episode, not even anything crazy. NBA playoffs. And by the time this comes out, we're probably going to be through game 2s, right? It'll be like tomorrow, the day after. Lakers will be going.
We're going to go series. We're going to go
series playoffs in the conference finals. We're going to go NFL playoff picture. We have a graphic.
Way too early.
Way too early. We have a great graphic for that. And then Louis Riddick, his comments on the Detroit Lions on the Rich Eisen show. 3 things, knock them out quick. We just want to get on the airwaves with the boys.
Want to fuck around, hop on the algorithm a little bit more than usual.
Just with the fellas.
Quick little watch, you know.
The fellas and the girls, if you're here.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, there will be one day.
No, there already are. I've gotten some comments. I've gotten some DMs.
They're looking for Boone.
Big Tom Boone. I'm just kidding. But? BTB. Shout out Abe. That was his nickname for me. But yeah, let's talk about it. NBA conference conference finals. First one. Me and you were texting last night and arguing in the group chat about the Los Angeles Lakers and Denver Nuggets series.
Yeah, that was a hell of a game,
bro. This series, is this series going to be like the best conference final series we've seen?
It
LeBron, AD versus Jokic and Jamal
Murray. Think about it, one of the last ones that we could think of that went to 7. We have the Bucks and the Celtics. The one year were pretty good, but at the same time, like I think everybody knew that the Celtics were too young. With this, it's a matter of we have LeBron, the greatest player in the NBA right now. Just as over, you can have an argument. Maybe not the best active in 2023, but just
greatest player of all time.
If you want to give him that, I go Jordan. But LeBron, you can do whatever with. But you have him and AD, who is playing his best ball, top 5 player in the league. It's just if he's playing his top ball. But then they're going up against who I think is going to win in the Denver Nuggets. I think they have Nikola Jokic, the LeBron stopper. They have Bruce Brown, one of the best role players, who I think is the Swiss Army knife in the series.
I can agree with you on that.
He's not the second best player, but their second best player is obviously Jamal Murray, and it looks like he's playing his best ball this season so far. I think his worst game is. We were going tit for tat last night. I think his worst game was 10 points, Jamal.
Yeah,
and it was a couple series ago.
He's
been consistent.
Yes, the Nuggets. That's the thing is like they played in the bubble a couple years ago, and I think it's a similar exact. I mean, obviously it's the same teams. It's very similar matchup though. I think, and I know like you could say anything like Jokic before his MVPs. I think just the way it's working out. Like I saw a diagram or a graphic that was Jamal Murray's stats this year. In the playoffs and the playoffs in the bubble, he is playing the exact same, identical stats. So I mean, that's why I think it's going to go to a game 6, game 7. I'm obviously on the Lakers.
I think 7.
Lakers win
game 6. I was going to say
this will be passed. This will be out. Though this won't be out yet, and we're going to know about game 2 for the Lakers. Yeah. And I might sound stupid here by this point, but the Lakers win game 2. And bro,
I think Lakers will pick up.
It's crazy.
I think if it goes to 6, which I do. I think it's going to be literally the home games, or you're taking them.
I think, dude. I think the Lakers win this away game, and they get that. Once they win this game, they have home court, and I think it's done.
So you think it's going to be the same thing? If it's going to be the same thing as the Warriors, I just don't agree because the Warriors, where they were strong at, was their guards, and what happened was as the series went on, the Lakers just bodied them on the inside.
What did they do? They wore the Lakers down, right, or the Warriors down?
Yeah, but.
They'll do the same thing to the Nuggets.
I don't think they can.
Nuggets only have one guy off the bench.
But what I'm saying is what they wore down is the Warriors' weakness. Denver, their strength is their bigs.
So
you have Michael Porter, you have Nikola Jokic.
Give you this example.
You can even say Aaron Gordon's a big body. That AD and LeBron, they're going to be able to score because LeBron is still going to be LeBron. The key to beating the LeBrons, and I'm just throwing in football here, the Patrick Mahomes, is not stopping them, but limiting them enough so they really can't do everything around him. And last game, they still did. And I think AD's not scoring 40 again in this series.
I want you.
Rui and Austin Reeves, they might go off again, but not simultaneously. I don't see the Lakers putting out a better overall team performance. I know they started slow, but just from point A to point B, you look at the stats. That's
come back to earth real quick.
Okay.
What you just said, that to stop a guy like LeBron, you have to limit him, right?
You can't stop.
So exactly. So the same thing with and you have. I just want you to.
I'm hearing you.
Let's take bias away because I'll take it away too for the Lakers.
That's why I picked Denver.
Look at what the Lakers can do with Jokic. All they have to do. It's the same thing with LeBron, AD, Jamal, Jokic. All they have to do is limit Jokic. At halftime yesterday, or whenever this comes out 5 days ago, I'm just kidding. It'll be like at halftime. What did they do? They made adjustments. They started taking Anthony Davis instead of putting him on Jokic. They kind of had him on him, but what they did was they basically just played off of Aaron Gordon, and they made adjustments, and they said, hey, we're going to make Aaron Gordon shoot the three.
Ham did a hell of a job last night.
And that's where I think they start to limit Jokic a little bit, and not just limit Jokic, but what they're going to do really well is they're going to limit the whole team. They're going to limit Aaron Gordon and say, go ahead, you go shoot that three there. We're going to let you go. We're going to leave you open like they basically did with Draymond, right? Now they found their Draymond. We're leaving you open, and Jokic is not getting anything in the paint with Anthony Davis. And if he does, it's going to be the hardest shots he's ever had. That's what they're doing. And when they did that after halftime yesterday, and they started going on that run and came back down 20 all the way back to a one-possession game with the shot to literally tie the game or take the lead with 20 seconds left, now they know they can do that all game. I think now what's going to happen is Lakers are going to win this game, and Mike Malone's going to have to make an adjustment. And this is that Mike Malone, and you know this too. If you've watched the Nuggets, he's in the past, they've been in playoff games, and they haven't made adjustments, and they've just lost series in the last 3 years.
And this is where
Mike Malone tests this playoffs.
And I agree with you. And this is why I think it was so useful for the Lakers to be able to wear down the Warriors, like we're saying in my whole argument runs, because the strength of the Warriors is their guards.
Yep.
And I think defensively the Lakers matched up against that well just because of their size, and when the Warriors weren't shooting well, they were going to run through them. You know what I mean? Just because they're bigger, and when you have LeBron and you're not shooting well, and that's the strength of your team, you're not going to stand a chance. With the Nuggets, I understand that, and what you were not saying is wrong, but I think Mike Malone, I give him the advantage over Darvin Ham. Just right now.
Whoa! No. If you're watching this, there's no Darvin Ham slander on this show.
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying in 2020,
Darvin Ham's the best coach in the NBA.
No, my God.
He's the best coach in the NBA. Right? Look in my eyes. Hey, Darvin Jr., if you hear me.
Eric Spoelstra's still around.
No, Darvin Ham.
Okay, I like Darvin Ham.
Darvin Ham Sr. is the best NBA coach in the NBA.
I like Darvin Ham.
All right, we have no Darvin Ham.
But what I'm saying is, I think
I'm just kidding, bro.
Denver, when you just watch them, they're the most efficient team in the league, offensively and defensively. I think for them to be thrown off their ball for 4 quarters, it's the most difficult team to do it because they're just so sound on every phase of the game. And then coming off the bench, you have Christian Brown, Jeff Green, and Bruce Brown. I think those three just together. Jeff Green has been around the league for so long, and he had his imprint on last game.
LeBron knows how to. He's played on every single LeBron team his whole career until he got to the Nuggets. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not saying he's that guy, but coming off the bench,
that's your sixth man.
No, and you have Bruce Brown.
All right,
then you have Christian Brown.
But this is a stat I also saw here too. Let me pull it up.
And just
quick. Because it was.
I just trust. I have
the Nuggets.
I will go to sleep way more sound. Putting my money on Denver, which I didn't put any money, but I'm just saying I put my bet on Denver round 1.
Nuggets bench points, 19. 16 of them from Bruce Brown. And I'm just like you. We talked about it when the game was going. I am the biggest Bruce Brown fan. I think he's one of the best role players in the NBA. That man, when he was on the Nets, dominated as a role player. Same thing is now. But Bruce Brown, I've bet on him multiple times this year. His over-under is always at 10.5, 11.5. He will not give them 16 again.
He doesn't have to because...
He does, though. For them, the game that they had yesterday, they're going to need someone else off the bench to give them just
And they will. Jeff Green Jeff Green is a proven veteran. I guarantee he'll have a nice game this series. Christian Brown, I've seen it before. He has those just random runs where he'll give you a quick 11, 12.
But
and that's what I'm saying.
That's 19, the difference from their bench.
That's it kind of makes me more confident in Denver because they were in foul trouble. So which
bench are you taking? Ready? Scoring wise, because the my point with this is the Nuggets
the Lakers bench, but around Jokic, I'm taking that bench.
Yeah, but like when you just look at scoring, and it's going to happen game 2. Like this is going to be the storyline, and it's going to go into all of it. This is why I think it goes 6-7 games because
I say it goes 6.
The Lakers are going to wear them down because they have Rui, Vanderbilt, Lonnie Walker coming off the bench. Those guys are elite.
I don't give a. I can tell you right now, I don't give a fuck.
But the Nuggets, they don't have guys like you saw. You saw yesterday when as soon as Jokic gets subbed out. There is nothing that the Nuggets can do. It's just all Lakers once they get subbed. Like you can't have them in 48
when
minutes.
AD gets hit in his fucking head and he clocks.
I'm worried about that. Worried about AD.
Get wear down way quicker than the Nuggets.
Very confirmed. I'm worried about AD.
And the second AD gets worn down. And it's not even on. You can't put it on LeBron because they're playing the second AD starts getting worn down, which I predict will be game 3 or game 4. That's when I think the series will start to slant towards Denver heavily, and I think that'll be after Denver's gonna go up 2-0. I think the Lakers pick up game 3 at home, and then right around there, everybody's gonna be hype, and that's usually where AD kind of goes. But he has LeBron. So I don't think they're gonna be able to do it because Jokic is going to just down. We saw it on the offensive board alone. He was already dead him on the offensive board.
And then he had that first half, and they adjusted, and now they know. Let's
Denver's going to adjust off what Lakers adjusted.
Yeah, it's going to come down that. Then it's going to show that Darvin Ham's the best coach in the NBA. Shout out.
I do like Darvin Ham. No disrespect to him.
Friend of the show.
I fuck with Rui.
Darvin Ham Jr., my guy. Series predictions. Then we'll go over to Heat Celtics.
I'm going Nuggets in 6. But it'll be a respectful series. I don't think it'll be like...
I'm going to go Lakers in 6. They're going to win this game.
You're going to take the Lakers in 6 and not 7?
Yep, 6.
Let's throw some cash on this. No, let's throw.
No, I already have money on it with Spencer, bro.
Let's throw some content.
Me and Spenny did. If the Lakers win, I have to give him, or no, if the Lakers win, he gives me $50, and if the Lakers lose and the Nuggets win, I just have to give him $25.
Drop in the comments
plus 100.
What the punishment should be for either of us.
Yeah, put some ideas.
Put some ideas.
Certain things I might not do, but if I can't do it, Lucas will do it for me.
That's not fucking.
All right,
let's transition over to
Celtics
the
Heat.
They play tonight. They kick off about actually right fucking now.
As we're talking, they're kicking off. This will come out in a couple of days, so we're gonna know you're gonna know how dumb we sound.
This is gonna be a 7-game series. I'm telling you right
now. I already have my pick.
Bro,
I'm in a scenario. All right, can I just break down the scenario for you?
Give him the floor.
I have Boston Celtics future. It's only to win like $150.
What is this future though?
It's for them to win the championship.
Oh, okay.
And I have a Lakers future, but I'm kind of convinced after seeing Himothy Butler, after seeing his comments and how he is, it makes me nervous because dude, Jason Tatum, he had that 50-point game, but the games before that, dude, he just didn't show up.
Here's the
Jimmy
thing,
Butler shows up every playoff game.
I don't think, and I'm not denying what you're saying about Jimmy either. But Jason Tatum, if you go look at the box score and you look at his points, yeah, he didn't show up, but his imprint on the game is always there.
It's crazy, bro.
It's always there. And if it's not him, it's JB. And that's why I battle, because I think Jason Tatum is obviously, in my opinion, a more talented player than Jimmy Butler. Now, Jimmy Butler has a relentless motor. He's been there, done that before, and he knows how situations work, and he puts himself in the right position almost every time in the playoffs. So I think him and Jason Tatum are a draw, in my opinion. Jaylen Brown, in my eyes, is just the prototypical just NBA player. If you were to do a build a player, it's Jaylen Brown every time. If just from a not like if you're gonna have the Kevin Durant and the Giannis's, you throw those rare occasions out. But you like a draft prospect that you want every year and pans out, it's Jaylen Brown. And I think there's no way for the Heat.
They do have a crazy 1-2. The thing with the Heat though is what people don't understand is people will keep Eric Spoelstra, yes, and that's the thing is people will they'll look at it and kind of look at it in the sense that you did, and I do the same thing. We all do it where we start looking at the stars. Right, we'll be like, oh, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. I don't know why I said Al Horford is a star.
But
didn't mean star.
Thing, though, but if you really want to break it down, Al Horford, playoffs, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams.
Yeah, they have a squad, but the thing is we said like the last 3 or 4 years, we have said that every single series. Like it is at this point. What is the thing? Doing the same thing over and over and getting the same results. Insanity. It's insanity, bro. We all, every single time. You can't tell me, though, every single series we've ever seen the Heat in, there's 70% of people are saying, oh, there's no way the Heat can do it. They're about to run into these stars. And then they beat them. They did it with the Bucks multiple times now. They did it with the Celtics in the bubble. They do it every single series. Is people like media, everyone looks at them and they go, oh, they just have Jimmy Butler. They don't have. But the thing Eric Spoelstra's so good at is taking a team and putting a game plan together, and he's going to hold you to under 110 points, and he's just going to, it's going to be a 101 to 95 game, and they're going to win that game. It's every time. That's why I'm I don't know who's going to win this series.
And that's why I keep asking,
crazy.
Because I honestly, my head is telling me Heat in 7.
That's where I'm starting to go there, bro.
But my gut, and I'm going to trust it just because I really like what I see out of Jaylen Brown, and it's not even I like the Celtics as a whole. As a 5-man roster, they're one of the most complete. I'm not going to say the most complete because I still like Denver more than them. But from the Eastern Conference, I think from top to bottom, they're most complete. And just like you said, it's almost like insanity. But when you have that with up-and-coming stars, I kind of get it. But at some point, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to get to the finals again and win it.
Yeah.
They've already gotten to the finals. They've gotten to the finals. And it was it wasn't a much different Eastern Conference. If anything, you could say it was more difficult back when they did it. So I like their odds here. I'm going to put my faith in them. I'm really I'm jumping on the Jaylen Brown trend. I think he's going to be the one that really stands out here.
You're right. I'm going to go Celtics in 7. I think, too, it's going to end up going to Game 7, and we're just going to see either a Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum Game 7 performance at the Garden again. It's going to be not the Garden, TD Garden. But I hate how it's
it's
Madison Square Garden, TD Garden. I hate that. But I'm with you on that, honestly, because at some point this 1-2 punch has to do something, and they're both going to get super maxes. And it's are they do they sign and trade Jaylen Brown? This is the last go around before maybe you're what do we do? And I think they end up keeping him. But
they're both staying in.
You just don't know with the NBA these days two super max deals.
It's been done before though.
Has it?
I mean, fuck. What was Kyrie and LeBron?
Yeah, but
they might not might have been quote unquote super, but Kyrie, their salary.
Yeah, I guess.
I think super max is different.
That's 60 million a year for
both. They get the ring.
120 million.
Get if it pans out and they just the dream scenario, they get the ring, and then I don't think Brown might be up for a super max.
They both are. No,
I'm saying next year.
This right now.
Coming up both.
They both were first. Season? They both were first team All NBA. And if you're listening to this, they weren't. But the thing is Jason Tatum's already signed it. There's something in the NBA. I don't know what it is. If you're watching and you're listening and you know what it is called, just put it below. We don't have it all in front of us.
They'll sink the ship for it.
They can extend him on a supermax deal to where it changes his salary. Since he got first team All NBA.
For them longer.
At the end of the offseason, they're able to, as soon as you get that, you're eligible for a supermax extension or something like that. It's a certain percentage, and it puts him to 60-something million a year. And then Jaylen Brown's up for obviously a contract extension, where he gets a supermax, and he'll be about 58 million.
So are they both planning to sign that this summer?
They would have to, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure you have to after you get that All NBA team. That's when you sign it.
I think. Because if they get to let's say theoretically they win it, I think they would sign it. They'd have to let go of guys like Marcus Smart. Al Horford's got to go too, I think Al Horford would probably restructure just because of his age.
Oh, okay. I've got it wrong here. I'm sorry. I have it here. Brown can sign this eligible in July 2024. Okay.
So that is this summer.
No, next summer.
Because next summer.
So this is a fan page. This could be wrong. It could be this year. I thought it was this year.
I think it'd have to be
eligible. They're both eligible for almost $300 million. Jason Tatum 318, Jaylen Brown 295.
They'll both get it. Boston would be idiotic to let both of them go because, even if we see with the Warriors, there'll be a year even if they're cat fucked, having two stars around like that, and you something slides situationally
You can build.
The East gets weak out of nowhere for a 2-year span. You do one sign and
guys
trade.
are going to leave that team. Malcolm Brogdon probably gone. Guys are going to be gone.
One.
But they will find a way. That's the thing with good GMs and
they
good
got Brad
teams.
Stevens up there.
Yes, bro. He's great basketball mind. So
elite.
So Celtics in 7.
Yeah,
Celtics in 7. All right, let's go. Hey, this is a great. Hey, the last episode we were on.
Yeah.
We were on one. All right, let's talk about the early predictions here.
So,
Early
the graphic
predictions.
that FanDuel put up, we'll throw it up there when we're editing all this shit up. But it has the Detroit Lions. It kind of has their NFC and AFC way too early predictions. It has the Lions in at third.
Yep.
And so when I'm looking at this, I in my heart as a Lions fan think is what their ceiling is. But do you think this is what will actually happen and this will transpire? Because you think of a 3-seed team, that's what, 11, 12 wins?
Yeah, so once the graphic gets put up, you're going to see they're third. So basically when the NFC, I see what FanDuel did here. They put them third, which I do think they're the third best team in the NFC. But basically what they're saying here is that they're winning the NFC North. That's their prediction.
Yep.
And they're obviously going to have a better record. So they basically did the Eagles win their division, Niners win their division, Lions win our division, and the Saints win theirs. And they basically just went the record there. I think that's perfect, right where they should be. Because then you look at it, they play the Seahawks round 1, right? Because the Eagles get a bye.
Yeah.
So you play the Seahawks round 1 at home, which is a week 2 matchup for us anyways. And then you play the winner of the Saints-Cowboys. Oh, no, you play the winner of the 49ers-Giants. Or you basically play the best remaining seed.
You play the winner of the Saints and Cowboys.
You play the best remaining seed, and then the Eagles get the worst. So you play either the Saints or the Niners on that.
Here's the thing I kind of want to touch on, and I don't think people are talking about enough. I think the Eagles, while they could win the NFC East, I'm expecting a small drop back from the Eagles because they lost both their coordinators, and they did have a great draft. But a lot of those guys are not going to be starting for them day one.
They lost a lot in that defense, too. We got C.J. Gardner-Johnson now. They don't have him anymore.
They lost T.J. Edwards as well.
Led the league in interceptions.
They lost arguably their best young guard outside of lineman outside of Landon Dickerson. So they lost Miles Sanders. I understand that they got Rashad Penny injury issues, DeAndre Swift injury issues, and then they have Boston Scott. He's Boston Scott, but this team's still going to be very, very good. But this is not going to be the dominant force that they were last.
Let's be honest. Look at the NFC list. Look at that list. The NFC East. The Eagles are number 1 on this list. The Cowboys are 5, and the Giants are 7. That's their conference. They play. That's 6 games.
The Commanders always play all of them tough, especially towards the end of the season.
I think we're obviously the North. Like we're in an easier division, I think, right this year than they are, and they're in the tough. To me, that's the toughest division in the NFC right now.
Yeah, because the NFC West,
3 teams in the playoffs.
Fucking pud. LA is going to be competitive some games, but overall they're going to be fucking puds.
Yes.
And then you just got the Seahawks, who they're going to be legit, but they still got Geno Smith at their quarterback, so you can't act like they're some elite fucking powerhouse.
We don't need to talk about it now. We could write it down for the offseason. We have all offseason. The Rams, though, I'm convinced we all are sleeping. We're sleeping on them, and they're going to make the playoffs.
Team. No. Fuck
dude,
no.
They have the same team they won the Super Bowl with.
They do, but
exactly. Like they just were injured last year. Now they're healthy.
But no playoff team in NFL history walked out of a year with 43 men in their roster. They're going to literally have to take half of the roster and incorporate it, and that's why they'll be a 7-win team. But they're going to start off slow.
We're sleeping.
Matthew Stafford's going to get hurt eventually, so then Stetson Bennett's probably going to see the field because I've already seen people hyping him up out of fucking training camp.
And they trade for Clayton Tune. Then they trade for Clayton Tune, and he becomes their franchise quarterback. He goes wins the Super Bowl.
He's going to stay put in Arizona. They're not getting Caleb Williams next year. They're staying put and building around fucking Tune.
So, let's talk about the Louis Riddick stuff with this, then, because that leads perfectly into it.
Building on the hype of this, the fucking god, just the absolute god of football IQ, Louis Riddick decided to speak some knowledge to everybody today, and he went on the Rich Eisen podcast, and he decided to say this.
Oh no.
No, we can just cut all this.
Oh no.
What?
He doesn't have the video ready. He wasn't ready.
AFC team that you think is most likely to be a new playoff team this coming season. Well, I'll set this up by saying this. I said this in January. Okay? Right after they were done. Like mopping Lambeau with the Packers in Detroit. Rich, this team has got it going on. And I know people are thinking, well, I just drafted Jameer Gibbs and Jack Campbell the first round. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Yeah, they do. And they have a top 3 offensive line in all football. and also they have a quarterback who some people are sitting there going, but Sean did that wrong. Not to say that Matthew wasn't great out there and they won a Super Bowl with him, but Jared Goff does throw away. Clearly, they have the future intended from him. So that room just got strong. And wide receiver, I understand that now you're going to have some issues with depth, at least for the beginning of the season, with Jameson Williams' situation. But Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalifa, these guys, they can hold it down. They'll be just fine. Cam Laporta, who they drafted out of Iowa, I got to see him in person this past year. He's going to be one of those guys who you want to go, another Iowa tight end that's up for all rookie, and maybe a reserve Pro Bowler, shocking. We've never seen that happen before out of Iowa tight end. And Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, forget it. That's one of the best ones. You put that up against any 1-2 punch of running backs in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs is a freaking superstar.
Louis, I heard coming out of the draft, I'm wondering if you heard the same thing, that had Arizona not knocked on the Lions' door to say we'll move up from 9, from where they moved up from to 6. Obviously, the Bears were sitting there at 9. But had Arizona, after they dropped down, 12, had they not moved up from the spot that they traded back down so the Texans would go up to get Will Anderson, had the Cardinals essentially not knocked on the Lions' door, they were considering drafting Gibbs before Bijan Robinson in 6. That's what I heard.
I heard that beforehand too. I heard before. Well, I didn't know that they were the team, but I heard that there were teams that had Jahmyr ranked above Bijan.
I heard that too.
Which, you know what? I mean, look, it's all subjective, right?
Yep.
Everybody has their opinion.
Yes.
I can do it, and I can do it with home run capability. 6'5", he's a grown man.
Who's he talking about?
Saw Baron at the end of the game last year. This guy's gonna be
Okay.
a Pro Bowler.
But we can put the whole thing in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Draft Ronnie Brett.
All right, bro. What do we think? That Louis, I mean, first of all,
This
before
man
you,
was spitting fucking heat.
before you say anything, since I've met you, one of the first things you talked to me about was you were like, anything Louis Riddick says, I will follow. Like that's like you're like you will bow down to Louis Riddick.
There's only one thing that I disagree with Louis Riddick about, and it's C.J. Stroud. It's the only thing.
I think
That's the only
maybe
thing
you
I
should
can
take a
remember.
step back and listen to
I'll
him.
have to one of those things where it's like, Louis, prove me wrong, and I'll happily say that I'm wrong. But
That's your guy, though.
Louis
so.
Riddick broke down everything that excites me about this team, and my favorite part at the end was the part about Kirby Joseph talking about how this man is about to be an all-pro safety next year, because I think he's going to be the one that truly takes this, like, when we're talking about, we already know what C.J. Gardner-Johnson's going to bring as far as elite level, but I think we are going to see Kirby Joseph become, like, an absolute superstar in the NFL this year.
Pro Bowler.
Not just, like, I'm talking about, like, a household name. He already has the marketing ability for it. Kirby Joseph is going to explode. He's going to be a household name on this defense. I think he's going to have at least 5 picks.
Oh, what a snap.
Motherfucker lays the boom. And then
He
he even
does.
talked about, what I loved is how he kind of was hypocritical, like in like a, or not hypocritical, but sarcastic, talking about the Lions draft class. Because he's just giving you straight facts about, say whatever the fuck you want about him, but the Lions know what they're doing, and you
Yeah.
guys don't.
That's the thing. Dude, we've talked about it when we talked about the draft, when we graded the draft. And like I said, I gave him a B+, said by the end of the year it's going to be an A. Because they didn't go best player available. They didn't do what every GM in this league does. They said, hey, we're going to go get our guys, and they did that. And what Rich Eisen, and well, he didn't really say it, but Louis Riddick said was, hey, they got a dog in Jack Campbell who's a grown man who's going to be right in there. He's going to be their best linebacker instantly. They got a guy in Jahmyr Gibbs to where
Did you hear what he said about Jahmyr Gibbs? How there was multiple teams that had Jahmyr Gibbs slotted
Before
ahead of
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson.
in Bijan, they talked about Kirby. They got Kirby Joseph. They talked about
Brian
Sam
Branch.
Laporta, where they were like, where he said he thinks Sam Laporta might be the best tight end, and obviously the best tight end in this draft. But he's going to be like all the other Iowa tight ends. Obviously, we had TJ, but George Kittle, like that's what Louis Riddick is saying. Like, who cares what all you people are saying? The Lions had the best draft that they could have had in the positions they were, and they went out and got their guy. They went out and got some dogs for this team.
They did.
And all these guys are going to compete instantly. They're going to help contend instantly for the Detroit Lions.
And when we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, a guy like Kirby Joseph is so fucking valuable because this man, and I know there's a lot of players that like that who from transition from wide receiver, and it's usually to cornerback. But the fact that this man is a safety playing, and he knows how to get across the field, he has probably top 5 ball skills already out of the safeties in the league. I'd probably say Javon Holland's up there too, Minka. But he knows how to play the ball and disguise coverages. And when you're playing against Patrick Mahomes week 1, watch out for Kirby Joseph. When the Lions win, he's going to have a big play and a big reason why.
No one knows it yet, but the Detroit Lions after week 1, they will have the best safety room in the whole NFL. Tracy Walker, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and Kirby Joseph. And Kirby Joseph. That is going to be the best 3 safeties in the NFL. Like, people are going to look at that and be like, what did they do? Like, there's no way.
It's a lot like
and
Philly
Brian
last
Branch.
year, but it's better. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so that's where they've built this defense perfectly. Like we know we went in the defensive line. They know what they did, kind of building that secondary, and they're slowly building this. They trust Aiden Hutchinson. They trust Lee McNeil. They trust James Houston. They trust these guys. Broderick Martin now. They trust these guys now. They know what they're. Now they have a solid line. Like, bro, this draft, all right, I'm sorry, I'm rambling right now, but Brad Holmes' press conference after the full draft, I was driving, listening to it as soon as they got it done. He said, people keep asking me, why did I not address the defensive line? He said, one thing I wanted to do in this draft, we had a top 5 offense last year. I wanted to keep it that way. I wanted to spread it out where I'm getting defense and I'm getting offense. I got Jahmyr Gibbs and Laporta.
Mini violin in my ears.
I got
Music
Brian
to my
Branch
ears.
and
Jack Campbell.
I'm sorry. Oh, if you're gonna listen to this show, I'm Booner. Don't forget. But you know what I mean. Like, he split it up perfectly, and people were mad at the time. I was mad at the time. You were mad at the time. When we did the second day of the show here, and they drafted Sam Laporta, I was on the desk like, what are we doing? You look at it. You listen to Brad Holmes. That man knows what he's doing. He's keeping us a top 5 offense, and he's making us a top 15 defense. That is a Super Bowl team. If you're top 15 in both categories, you're competing for a Super Bowl. Yeah. And they're going to be top 15 and top 5. Locked.
Listen, my whole argument around JSN to the Lions was because you take what you're good at and you make it even better. And they did that. Just not with JSN. They did with Jahmyr Gibbs. I think
what they ended up doing ended up turning out better, getting Jack Campbell and Laporta.
Because you turn, at this point I'll say it, fuck Jalen Carter when you turn him into 2 Pro Bowlers. Because that man is not going to be a Pro Bowler this year or next year. He probably will be eventually. But
people don't know what Sam Laporta's going to do.
And they got Jordan Davis. So he's going to be fighting for snaps, and even on the outside. So he's not going – you have a chance to get – because especially with how weak the tight ends are right now, especially with injury, Sam Laporta could easily be an instant Pro Bowler. Jahmyr Gibbs, 2-3 years, I'll give it to you. He's going to be a all-pro level.
Jahmyr, all-pro, yes.
All-pro.
It could be crazy for me to say he is going to be on the and it's tough because we have David Montgomery. A lot of people are forgetting that we have David Montgomery. Yep. Like,
I don't care though. They both
that man is elite as well in his own right. But the way people are talking about Jahmyr Gibbs, what we saw in this video with Louis Riddick. Don't be surprised if he's a Pro Bowler this year as a rookie. Rookies make the Pro Bowl more than like a NBA All-Star game or an MLB All-Star. Like, rookies get those reserve spots and they get in. This is a guy who could look in the NFC. Delvin Cook's out of Minnesota. I don't think he's going to be.
If Miles Sanders got in the Pro Bowl this year, Jahmyr Gibbs.
All he needs to do is get. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 1,400 combined yards, rushing, receiving. 1,400, bro.
I said 700.
500 and 500 is like we all are like he needs to get that.
You're right.
Say you add 200 more to it, you're each one. That's 7 and 7. Like you're at 1,400. Like I think he does that. He's a Pro Bowler, and he gets what? Just even six touchdowns, and David Montgomery gets 10. That is elite for us, bro. That recovers what you lost with Swift and Jamal Williams. So
100%.
I love what Louis Riddick said, bro.
And you know what this is getting me excited for that I cannot wait to touch on? Fantasy fucking football. So I think we'll dish up. We'll come up with like a way too early We'll do like a way too early top 10 fantasy position breakdown.
And shout out to
wide receivers.
If you're an early Booner follower in Woodward Sports last year for football, I put out I just did a bunch of articles every single week leading up to the NFL. I don't even know if you knew.
Nope.
I would put out like ranking top 10 quarterbacks for fantasy, top 10 running back. I did that. I'll probably do that again this year. I did it last year. I'll probably do it again. But we're gonna have that on the show. We're gonna to the moon.
Boone to the moon.
Take us out.
But we'll catch you next time.
Klotz.
Hopefully we'll be in Studio A, but if not, we'll be turning it up in here. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your aunt, share with your mother, share with your grandma.
Victory!
And we'll catch you next time. And again, Clayton Tune is going to be the surprise quarterback of this draft.
Victory!